It was sometime in the beginning of March because I was babysitting and I had picked up the kids from school and just it was like within a half hour, everything just exploded. Like, first I hear that the kids aren't going to be having school for a while. So that was number one. Number two, my brother was in a musical that night and the school he was at called and said, this is the only performance we're giving after this. The school's going to be closed. That was number two. Number three, my dad started working from home. Number four, just everything got pushed back to being at home. My sister goes to St. Louis University and she had to move out. She was actually on her spring break when she found out first the university was going to extend classes online just for a week. And then it's like, no, come get your stuff. You have to go home. I'm sorry. All classes are online. So that's when it started to take full effect for me because everybody I loved was suddenly going to be at home all the time, and everybody who was involved in activities of some sort, everything was just being postponed. And that's when it really started to hit me. And I had been watching it online when the news and everything. And I should even backtrack a little bit and say I have family living in Italy, and they were really battling it hard. They were living in areas where just they couldn't leave their homes, they couldn't go across the street. And I was still thinking, I'm like, I really, is that going to happen here? Or are people going to be safe? Is this going to really take the same toll it's taking in Italy? And again, I didn't know, but that's what I was seeing. So that's something that really just took a toll.
Now having family in Italy, I imagine you probably followed the situation over there a little bit closer than some other people here did. Is that?
Yes,
Yeah.
we were talking to them because in the beginning, when I first heard about what was going on in Italy, I was thinking, and again, this sounds a little, in retrospect, I realized how crazy this sounds, but I was like, they have a much older population. So, of course, this is going to look much more dangerous. And then I just saw this cases kept going up and up, and I'm like, something's going on. Like, it's not just the population, because a lot of countries have older populations and they aren't suffering as much. And we started talking to our family over there more. My one cousin, he could go home from school, but he chose not to because his family is much older. So he didn't want to run the risk of infecting anybody. So he was staying alone in his dorm at his university and barely having any contact with anybody. And when we called and spoke to him, he seemed really happy to speak to us because it was just like, I haven't been able to talk to anyone. I can't go home to my family. I think he's home with them now. I think it's gotten to the point where it's okay for him to leave. But like my other cousin lives across the street from her parents, and she couldn't even go visit them because they just were fining people. They were ticketing people, saying, you need to have a notice if you go out, saying you're only going to the pharmacy, the grocery store, don't go out, anything like that. And it's sad because I know they love each other. They're really tight knit. It's not easy to be apart from each other. And it makes you really think, like,